dared the weather and drove in, and obviously the students that made it as well. And for the fans out there, that if you're watching or listening to this live, be careful driving home. I know it's not great out there, so we really appreciate you coming in. I know our players did and fed off that energy that you provided, not knowing, you know, what type of crowd was going to be. In regards to the game, I thought obviously second half did a much better job of taking care of the ball. Once we settled down a little bit in the first half, decent job of getting the ball inside and finishing tonight much better. And defensively, you know, be able to, part of helping our defense was not turning the ball over in the second half, where we could get our defense set for the most part. And I thought we did a decent job with that. So this league, obviously, you test it every night, and I was happy with how our guys responded coming off of Saturday's finish. Questions?
Jeff? Greg, I know a lot of guys made some plays for you tonight, but what do you think Gilmore gave you, particularly late in the game?
Yeah, I thought he just has a knack. I know things on the stat sheet don't pop out, but he's such a smart player in terms of positioning, understanding angles, how to help a teammate, how to plug a gap. He fought his butt off early to try to clean up some of the offensive rebounds that they had in the first half. I thought we were better of that to a degree in the second half, but he does things within his role that maybe don't get headlines, but they're really important things and intangible things that teams need, because not everybody can be a star, and he has accepted and embraced that role, and because of his evolution in that regard, we're better because of it. And like I said, and he's a better shooter than how he has shot it. I mean, for him, it's a confidence thing, because he scored like crazy in high school, and he's done it on the scout team. Like, we can't guard him, and but it's just a matter of just growing your confidence to be able to do it when the lights are on, and he's done it in other areas in terms of defense and rebounding and those things, and decisions. The next step for him is going to be, continue to evolve and grow his confidence offensively.
Jim, and then Ben. Go ahead, Jim.
Greg, you pulled those guys off late in the game, and they got a nice ovation. Was that kind of your point, or was it to get the other guys in the game? Or you just haven't had a chance to do that because you've had so many
Yeah, those
close
guys
games?
haven't played. Heck, my son hasn't seen the court since like November or something. It's like, he's got to earn, he earns his keep, as all the other guys do too. No, I let the shot clock expire intentionally, so I could get those guys out, number one, to get a nice ovation. And those guys that came in there at the end, I know Isaac Lindsay was in with them, but those guys work really hard every day, and they haven't had a chance because we've been such a white knuckle team drama with so many close games. We can't, they haven't been on the floor. So just to get them a little, feel good, thank you for what you've done in practice every day, because they run around and get the crap knocked out of them every day and keep coming back for more the next day. So we appreciate and obviously acknowledge all the contributions everybody makes, not just the guys that play in every game.
Ben?
Greg, I know plus minus can be kind of a finicky stat, but with Carl out, all the reserves you had gave you positive minutes. They all finished in the plus in the first half. The lift that they gave you to kind of maintain the lead or increase it, how critical was that?
Yeah, I thought it was important from Gilmore to Jordan to Isaac Lindsay. I thought gave us some good minutes early, just when we were not in sync and throwing the ball over the place. And I thought then we have a couple, Steve gets 2 fouls. I thought Marcus Ilver, even though for 4 minutes, did some good things, and he's been showing more signs of embracing physicality and playing that way in practice. So I think for all those guys, Kamari, as I've told them after the game, we need everybody, because you never know which night. Sometimes I mix and match trying to find a spark. Sometimes a foul situation dictates me having to play somebody more or in a different position, but just be ready and respond and add when you come in.
Go ahead.
Coach, Tyler Wall, 11 points, 14 rebounds, and an efficient night. What did you see from him, especially offensively, going downhill and being aggressive?
Yeah, I think Tyler got his mojo going from how hard he played and the rebounds he was able to get his hands on. Those things, I think, fueled what he did offensively. And, you know, when you chase scoring and are always trying to be motivated or focused on that, you'll never catch it. But when, as I told him before the game, just go play hard. Just let the chips fall where you stand next to me in the national anthem line. I said, man, just play hard, let the chips fall where they may. And that's, when you play hard, good things happen. Things fall in your lap, so to speak, when you, and he did that. He played exceptionally hard and had a tougher assignment tonight with Murray. Lost him a couple times, but you know, he just kept battling back.
We'll go Jeff and then Todd.
Greg, when we asked Fran about the 3-point shots, he said he thought that, you know, they moved the ball at times to get good looks and just miss some that they normally hit. But do you think for the most part you made them work to really move the ball? It seemed like there were a lot of possessions that stalled until late in the shot clock. Do you think your defense was solid for the most part?
Well, I think part of that is Jeff is better in the second half and the last half of the first half of taking care of the ball so we can get our defense set. And when you can get it set, obviously they don't get as much momentum going in terms of quick, easy possessions that maybe it's a layup, maybe it's a foul, maybe it's a 3 in transition that ignite and build confidence. So then when they are in the half court, some of those tougher shots become easier. So for the most part, we did a good job of I guess, stopping momentum from being built. And that was a lot through our ability to transition defensively. And also you gotta be, you know, you gotta run good offense, you know, and for the most part, I thought we did that. You know, we missed shots too. And you know, both of us, I'm watching the game against Northwestern that they played Saturday night or Sunday, whenever it was, and I mean, they were 3 for 24. It was like, I thought I was rewatching us against Rutgers. And your fear is that they're not gonna have another game like that, you know, but we both did, so.
We got 2 more questions for Coach. Todd and then Chris, please.
Greg, they pressed a lot in the first half. They've kept it going, I guess, a little bit later too, but you guys seem to adjust to it. What was the biggest adjustment, or what were the adjustments you had to make to, I guess, be better with the ball and not turn it over, but also to kind of break that a little bit?
Yeah, don't throw it to them. That's the first thing. And then some angles and things. I thought we got straight across from each other and had 2, we talked about 45-degree angles up the floor. Connor got too extended up the floor at times. At halftime, we talked about getting back and when you need to be a release point, you can. But we can't run and hide in the other corner and have us outnumbered. So I thought, and then we were aggressive with it. We were able to convert a few times. You know, either got fouled in transition, got a basket. We were able to kind of put them on their heels a little bit that way where they couldn't be as aggressive with it.
Chris, go ahead.
You had talked about Tyler Wall being aggressive tonight, but it kind of seemed that the team as a whole, Connor bounced back from that poor shooting performance the other night. Steven came out of the halftime strong. Chucky looked really strong at the end of the game there. Is there any sense of your backs being against the wall? Did anything change tonight, or was it just clicking?
We made some shots and, you know, we shoot 50-some% tonight after, 20-some% in the second half Saturday. So I don't want to simplify it, but in some regards, it's really that simple, you know, and I think you feed off that confidence, you know, as much as you try to always be locked in defensively. When you get the ball to go in a little bit, it ignites you on the other end too. So, I don't talk about anything different. They know where we're at. Got to keep, you know, prepare for a good team today. We got another one coming Sunday that we got to go on the road. So there's, just keep stacking good days and keep trying to get better. I think that's the one thing that sometimes this time of year gets lost is you can still get better, and that may be more consistent. That may be, you know, stack better minutes together. Regardless, if we've got a younger group that it still has to learn a lot, and they're learning a lot. This has been a lot of baptism by fire for some of these guys, and some days it's great. Some days you're the windshield, and some days you're the bug. So, but they're learning and growing, and the thing about this group is they've been very resilient. I mean, they haven't hung their heads, they haven't pouted, they've practiced pretty well. They've always bounced back and responded when they take one. on the chin a little bit, so that's always a good sign as a coach, that they keep coming back and wanna learn and wanna get better. All good?
All
Yeah, you got Jeff?
Yeah, oh, Jeff, have you got one?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going
You got
anywhere.
that?
Yeah, I'm doing what am I gonna
Wanna go home
do?
and shovel?
Yeah. My wife told me I should've taken my jammies here, that I didn't drive home.
Do you
I'll
think,
creep home.
I don't know if Chucky got off to a little bit of a skittish start, but do you think he settled in and played a solid floor game?
Yeah, 5 assists, 1 turnover, with the pressure that he saw, having to make decisions every time up the floor. And I thought he was physical at the rim, trying to go through contact more, so that's all a good sign. Anybody else? All right, oh, Raul,
I do.
what do you wanna know? You want something for your youth team, that secret out of bounds play or something?
I was gonna ask about flex, but I'll keep that for you.
Flex?
But, no.
What
but-
about it?
But I know you guys won't use it as an excuse, but just with what you mentioned about so many guys stepping into new roles, just how tough is that? And because Tyler's coming into like being the main guy, Steve too, just and then going down the line, just how tough is that to kind of navigate?
Well, it's their opportunity to grow into their role, and that's, ironically, I had, Brian Butch was the honorary captain tonight, and he was in talking to the team after the game, and as I introduced him, when we took the job here in 2002, Brian was coming out of his freshman year, and he was the very first recruit that I brought into Coach Ryan's office. I remember vividly walking with him in. And Brian talked a lot about how, he came here as a McDonald's All-American, but redshirted because older guys were kicking his butt every day. And the older guys pass on those lessons to the younger guys. And we've been very fortunate always that we've had guys that do that take care of the younger guys below them and under them. And that's, Tyler's in that role now where you're, an elder statesman, and you have to help these younger guys grow. And at the same time, you have a responsibility to, get better yourself and try to play as consistent as possible. So it's a lot of hats to wear when you get to be an upperclassman. Everybody thinks it's easy, and it's not. So for him, this is all learning. You heard me use the learning word a lot tonight, and he's learning how to balance all those responsibilities.
I know you can't criticize officials, but are you guys, including Stephen Crawl, a little bit trying to figure out how he can back a guy down without getting a charge and sitting on the bench?
Yeah, I think the one thing that, and it's a difficult job, I get it, and they do a ton of games, and they're in different places, and these guys had to travel through, rough weather tonight too. I think the biggest thing that we're trying to get to, or place we're trying to get to, is consistency, specifically in low post play. And it's between how they instruct us that it's gonna be called, the videos we get, how it is called, and it varies. I think the biggest thing is just trying to get a level of consistency, because number one, it impacts the players, and they don't know. They're like, what is a charge, what's not? And they ask me, and I don't know, because it's one thing on one end, something else on the other, and like I said, I have great respect for the guys that are officiating, and like I said, it's a really hard job. Guys are big, strong, physical, it's fast. It's not as easy as it looks when you watch it on TV, when you can push rewind and DVR it and pause it. They have to make an in-game, real-time decision. So, but that's something that, I think our league is trying to help guys get better and improve in all those areas.
Todd's got one.
If you'll stay
final
here and take another question. After a couple of turnovers early, Tyler could have gone in a direction downward, but he didn't. What do you think kind of turned him back towards the positive way there?
Well, he got a bucket. I think he got a bucket there, and kind of in the post. Right when I was going to take him out, he scored, I think, right before the media timeout. So, every player's different in how they respond. Sometimes you let players play through the mistakes. Sometimes they need a little timeout and sit down and recollect and refocus. So, and sometimes from game to game, it's a little different. But I thought how he responded in terms of going right back down and finishing the post off the glass, I think he did that time. that was a good sign, that he wasn't letting what happened prior carry over. And we gotta, move on to next. You gotta turn the page quick, possession by possession. Don't worry about what happened. We got a lot more to play.
Okay.
Everybody good? All right, longest press conference in
The more enjoyable
school
we
history.
win,
Exactly, yeah. We lose,